Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to Jenny Mitich Live. Ask me anything. Anything you want. Carnivore, keto, anything that's going on with you, I'm here to help. My name is Jenny Mitich. I am a long-term carnivore, been carnivore for over 3 years. My background, my training, my degree is actually in management and finance, but I have a deep passion for nutrition and metabolic health. And after gaining 70 pounds with my twins, I was almost 250 pounds, about 100 pounds heavier than I am right now as I talk to you. And I was miserable. And my husband found the carnivore diet. I resisted doing it for about 6 months, saying, oh, well, can't be good for you. How can you get all the nutrients you need only eating meat? There's no way, you're going to die, blah, blah, blah. Thought all those things, but finally I got frustrated. I gave it a try. And in the first 30 days, I dropped my glucose from the low 100s to the low 80s on average. I lost 8 pounds, which is the most I've ever lost eating anyway. And I was hooked. And I did not mean for this to be a 3-year thing. It's just continued because I feel my best when I'm eating a strict carnivore diet. I've lost over 50 pounds now. And I have improved my metabolic health across the board. One unexpected benefit was that my anxiety and depression, gone. I used to have medication. I no longer need medication. And that happened around, I don't know, maybe like month 2 or 3 of carnivore. I didn't even realize it until I was like, wow, I haven't had to take my emergency anxiety medication in a while. I haven't had any anxiety attacks. So that was kind of a unexpected thing. I came to carnivore for vanity, and that's okay. That's okay if that's why you come. So now I have this YouTube channel. I do carnivore educational content, lots of metabolic health content as well, lots of N of 1 experiments, which are just experiments that I run on myself. So I've done like 7, 10, and 14-day sardine fasts and done before and after blood work and DEXA scans, continuous glucose monitoring, things like that. I've done where I only ate carnivore bars for 14 days. That was a really interesting experiment. And I also do recipes. So lots of carnivore and animal-based keto recipes. For all of you out there that aren't as boring as me, I can just eat steak and chicken wings and bacon and eggs and butter probably for the rest of my life and I'd be happy. But not everybody is like me. So that's me. Welcome to the live stream. I'm here to answer your questions. So if you have any questions, let me know by putting like a QQQ or a question mark in front of them, and I will get to those after we do a little bit of housekeeping. I would love to hear where you're watching from, how you're doing today. Let me know in the chat, and when we get over to that, we'll make sure to say hi to everybody. I'd also like to thank all of my YouTube and Patreon members. These people support the testing and data gathering that I do with all those N of 1 experiments. They cost money. And the way that I'm able to cover those is with members. So I thank you so much. I put the links to both Patreon and YouTube membership in the description. And you should be able to see that if you're watching on YouTube, like a join now button or something like that. There's varying tiers. If you are on Patreon, you will get early access to my new videos, usually a day or two before they come out on YouTube. I also have that available for gold and platinum members here on YouTube. So yeah, you can take a look at all those things there. Just wanted to mention it. And let's talk about an exciting carnivore meetup that's coming up in the Chicagoland area. Let me put this graphic up. So I am hosting a showing of the cholesterol code, and we are going to meet up at Texas Day Brazil beforehand for a VIP fundraiser dinner. Dave Feldman, as you can see right there in that poster, that one right there, that's Dave Feldman. He is running a cholesterol study of something called lean mass hyperresponders. And if you don't know what that is, go over to his channel and check it out. Basically, it's studying why some people, when they go on a ketogenic diet, see their LDL cholesterol skyrocket, but they also see their triglycerides drop drastically and their HDL go up drastically. It's called a lean mass hyperresponder triad, the lean mass hyperresponder triad. And very interesting stuff. But this fundraiser is going, all proceeds from dinner and the showing after that are going to go to the Citizen Science Foundation to fund their next study because they've already finished their first. And we have some special guests coming to that, we've got me and my husband, Goran, Carrie and Jen Mann, and Adam Lacey. And I actually need to update this graphic because we're also going to be having No Carb Barb. Barb Harrell is going to be joining us as well. And we're adding new VIP guests all the time. So if you'd like to join us, there's 2 ticket tiers. If you can only make it to the movie, to the screening, that's totally fine. In the description, you're going to see a link to gather. It'll say screening only ticket. And they're anywhere between $19 to $23 plus some taxes or fees. And you can reserve that. I think we're up to 50 or so that have been reserved, so over half. Now, if you'd like to come to the VIP dinner, that's $150 a ticket. And that also includes dinner. It includes the screening ticket, so you don't have to purchase a separate ticket. That's included in the price. And then all net proceeds go to Citizen Science. And that link is also in the description. But here is a QR code. Let me get that banner off there so that you can scan this if you would like to come to that dinner. Like I said, new VIP guests are being added all the time. And I have a anticipated very special guest that I think you guys are going to be really excited about. So come join us. We're going to add more VIPs as it comes. And I really hope to see you there. It is Monday, April 13th. So it's still a little bit away. But when the tickets are sold out, they're sold out. We only have, I think, 90 tickets to the showing. It's in Schaumburg, Illinois, and it's at Woodfield Mall, basically. So it's Texas Day Brazil is right there. And then it's a 4-minute drive around the parking lot to get to Streets of Woodfield where the movie is. So it's going to be super fun. Pretty excited about that. I also wanted to talk about the new carnivore bloodwork experiment that is ongoing. So in the beginning of the year, I released a podcast where I talked to Dave Feldman, owner of OwnYourLabs, the guy we were just talking about. He also has his documentary. But there's a new feature on the OwnYourLabs website, and that's this experimental portal. And my experiment is actually the very first experiment that's being hosted on OwnYourLabs. So basically, for any new carnivores out there, if you're into blood work, if you want to see the changes that happen when you go carnivore, you go and you purchase a little bundle of blood work. It's just a fasting insulin, a comprehensive metabolic panel that has a fasting glucose, and a lipid panel. So with discounts, it's like $27. So you go and you get that blood work like right in the beginning of carnivore or right before you start. And then 30-ish or so days later, you get the exact same bundle again, another $27, and see what changed in your blood work. It's a really just fun experiment if you'd like to participate, be involved. So the information for that is linked in the description of this live stream. And it is a rolling experiment. So let's say you're watching this like 2 months from now and you're like, ooh, I just started carnivore. I really want to do that experiment. You can. It's ongoing. So check out the link in the description and you'll be good to go. I don't have a graphic for the next thing I wanted to talk about, but Collaborative Science Conference is coming up in March. This is March 13th to the 15th in Las Vegas. And this is one of my favorite conferences. Everything today we're talking about is related to Dave Feldman. What's up with that? This is Dave Feldman's conference. It is a giant fundraiser for the Citizen Science Foundation to help raise funds for their cholesterol research. So it's super, super fun. I've gone to every single one. This is the third. And I'm actually going to be a speaker. I was a speaker last year, a citizen science speaker. This year, I'm one of the main speakers. And I'm really, really, really super excited. It'll be the longest I've spoken on stage ever. I have a full 30 minutes. What shall I talk about? I don't know. I'm sure I'll fill the time. But if you want to get tickets, the cool thing about this conference is there's tiered tickets. So it's a fundraiser. So they have tickets as low as $25 to attend, all the way up to like $1,000. And almost all of that money is donated directly to the Citizen Science Foundation. So if you'd like to go, Goran and I will be there the whole weekend. I'd love to see you. I'd love to hang out with you. I'd love to sign my book. If you have it and you bring it, I'll sign it for you. Link is in the description, and get those tickets. It's going to be so much fun. The final thing I wanted to talk about is Meat Stock. Meat Stock is coming up in May, I believe May 1st through the 3rd. And that's another thing that Goran and I will be at. Super, super excited about. I am one of the hosts. I'll be moderating a lot of panels. Courtney, Luna, and I will be doing a book signing on Saturday. So we'll have books available for sale, but also if you bring yours, if you're coming to Meat Stock, we will sign the books for you. It's going to be a great weekend, honestly. There are still conference tickets left. I believe they're like $300 a piece for the whole weekend. And then there's also some of the speakers cabin retreat tickets left. So this is where you get to hang out with all of the speakers all weekend. Really, really amazing deal. I will tell you, I stayed in the speakers cabin last year. I met so many cool people. It was just like amazing. So if you want to go to Meat Stock, be sure to get those tickets and I will see you there. I think that's it in my list. That's it in my list. So why don't we go over to see how everybody is doing? If you have any questions, comments, I also would love to hear any kind of success stories or anything that's going on that's like a big win for you. Put that in the comments section. This time is for you. And we're going to keep going until we don't have any more questions. And then I'm going to sign off. We're still down here in Florida. So it was really nice today, almost 80 degrees. And we are going to be down here probably for another week. And then we're going to be heading back up to the Chicagoland area for a few weeks to take care of some stuff we have to take care of. And then maybe come back down. I think we're going to be doing some camping. So it's going to be super, super fun. All right, let's dive into these comments. Oh, I should put the banner back up. If you have a question, put QQQ or a question mark in front of it so that I know what's going on. And there we go. Yay, it's Jenny time. Hello, hello, welcome. And you can see that Lioness Helix is a member because she has that little icon next to her name. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Cali Girl, Fee 11. Hello, Jenny. Nice to see you today. It's nice to be seen and good to see you as well. Thanks for joining me today. John Strong, John Together, can't even talk. John Together Strong. Together Strong, sharing experience, strength, and hope one day at a time. Very true. Welcome. Hello, everyone. I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see you here. Good to see you. Okay. Here's a question. Jenny, do you think a ketovore way of eating is healthy and beneficial? Meat-based, low oxalate veggies? Yes, I do. I believe more in like a spectrum of health, and it just depends on where you're at with your health. I don't think carnivore is the only healthy way to eat. If it was, then people would only be healthy if they were eating this way. And there's plenty of people that are healthy eating other ways. I do think a focus on real whole food and meat heavy is important. I think, obviously getting rid of ultra processed foods, sugary stuff, all that kind of stuff, gluten's terrible for you, all of that. But yeah, I think that's ketovore is an excellent way of living. And if it's serving you, if you feel good, keep doing what you're doing. I think that's great. All right, Lydia's journey. Hello. So glad I caught a live. I'm glad you're here too. Hanging out with me. And if anybody out there has a question, a comment, big win, please leave it in the comment section. This time is for you. Hi, Jenny. I'm watching from Glasgow, Scotland. Hello, John B. Hoy, 222. Good to see you. What time is it there? I think you're what, like 8 hours ahead? I'm in Eastern time zone, so maybe 7 hours when I'm here. Most of my genetic heritage is from the British Isles, Scottish, English, and Welsh with just a touch of Irish. So you are my countrymen. Okay. Lioness Helix is watching from Olathe, I'm not saying that right. Olathe, Kansas. Good to see you. All right. John has an amazing story. Started at 367 pounds, now 190. Amazing work. 12 years keto, 9 months carnivore, reversed diabetes, fatty liver, heart disease, and after a 5-time bypass. That's insane. No glasses needed anymore. Mental clarity improving every day. John has an incredible story. And John, you have a YouTube channel. Is that correct? Let me know. I don't remember. Sorry, my brain is so mushy. By this time of the day, I've been up since 6 a.m. and hanging out with the boys and doing everything we do. So I'm actually, doing this a little bit earlier because we have a family that just flew in and we're going to be eating dinner. So typically I'd be doing this at 6 p.m. Eastern, but that's like smack dab right in the middle of dinner time, and we don't want to do that. So, okay. I can't wait. I'll be able to travel at the end of the year, and next year I'll travel for meat stock. Chicago sounds fun though. Oh yeah, that's going to be so much fun. I had a chance to watch the cholesterol code. It's a screening at last year's collaborative science conference. But in that time from then, which was February to now, so like in the past year, a lot has happened, a lot. Just some crazy stuff. I've actually had Dave Feldman, Nick Norwitz, and Adrian Sotomoda on my podcast to talk about some of the things that popped up because there was a lot of crazy stuff. So they've filmed more. So they filmed more about like all of the controversy and the stuff that was going on, and that has now been added to the film. So that's why it still hasn't come out. It was supposed to come out like last, I don't know, spring or fall or something like that, and it's been delayed. So now I believe, these screenings in the theaters are kind of the ramp up to the actual streaming release, which they haven't disclosed which streamer it's going to be on, but I really hope it's on a big one because this movie really needs to be seen. A lot of really interesting data, a lot of nuance, and a lot of stuff that's not talked about in, old guard cholesterol research. So it'll be really, really good. So excited. Okay. I messaged you earlier about my son. He is now seriously low iron deficiency. I bought your book before all of this happened. I guess God was putting me on the right track. He's 15. What do you suggest? I would say make sure you're talking to a physician. I am not a doctor, so I can't really give personal medical advice. But I would say, if you're consuming a lot of red meat, you want to get stuff that has heme iron in it. So you really want those really rich in heme iron. I would say Google that and make sure he's consuming that. But I would also make sure you're doing testing, make sure you're working with a physician and all of that. But yeah, you're definitely in the right place. So welcome. And I am happy to have you here. Okay. All right, question. So that's where I usually end up losing weight, etc. But whether I do paleo, keto, ketovore, tomorrow, carnivore, I hit a wall. It all stops working, and nothing works. The fog comes back. Are you saying that the fog comes back if you eat a different way other than carnivore? Clear that up and then I'll answer that. Okay, Target Prime Rib, hello. Hello there. Good to see you. Brian, hello, Jenny and everyone. Hello, Brian. Good to see you. Brian is also a YouTube member. Thank you so much for your support. Okay. Question, I was bedridden for 2.5 years because of this. I know it has to do with hypercortisolism. I'm not pronouncing that right. Are you saying before you started carnivore, that was the issue? I think I'm missing a piece here. There we go. Steadfast 2426. Hello, all. I love your experiments. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I have a brand new experiment that's going to be starting on Thursday. I've got a bunch of blood work planned. I already got the DEXA, so that's ready to go. And I'm doing continuous glucose monitoring and ketone and glucose testing. I might also be using a continuous ketone monitor during that, so we'll see. Should be super, super, super fun. Oh, hey, look who it is. No Carb Barb. Good to see you, my friend. No Carb Barb is also going to be at the Chicago meetup, the VIP dinner. I got to add her beautiful face to the poster. Love her to death. Love her to death. And she's also a YouTube member. Thank you so much for your support. Pilar Fit Vegas. Yay, I'm in Vegas. Yes. Yay. You have to come to this conference. It's so good. And then, come up to me and say hi because I'll be there the whole weekend. So where do you get tickets? Excellent question. So the link is in the description. It's the Collaborative Science Conference, Vegas. If you just typed that into, wherever your search engine, it'll pop up. But I've linked it for you. That'll take you directly to tickets. And like I said, tickets are tiered. So I think they're as low as 25, as high as 1,000. And there's different benefits that you get at each tier. And these are donations. So that's why it's set up that way. But it's going to be so much fun. And you definitely have to come. Okay, here's a response to HFox47. I'm adding liver to my diet to attempt to increase iron. Have you tried liver? Doctor thinks poor absorption of iron. Might want to research what limits absorption. Great points. I totally agree. All right, Breeze5378. Hello, good to see you. Welcome. Okay, Lioness, I have Aaliyah's book, Courtney's book, and your book. That is amazing. Are you coming to Meatstock this year, Robin? I'll sign it, anytime I see you. And there's so many good books coming out, you guys. I was just talking to Chris and Ash Delisle from Chris Cooking Nashville, and he is working so hard on his book. Anita, Ketogenic Woman, our friend from Canada. I love her to death. She's finishing up her book. Linda Salant, the Carnitarian, is finishing up her book. There's just so many excellent cookbooks coming for carnivore. I can't wait. We'll have them all here on lives to promote their books and to help spread the carnivore love. The more we can get these books well reviewed and just pushed out to the general public, the more people can find carnivore and an animal-based lifestyle and change their lives. That's what we're doing here, folks. We're trying to share our stories so that we can help as many people in this world improve their metabolic health. Can you imagine if everybody on the planet was an optimal baseline, just like the creativity and the energy and the productivity and just everything that we could do with that? Amazing. That's my dream. That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm energized to wake up every single morning and make videos and talk to people, do podcasts, and create content for you guys, because I'm so passionate about this. If you do have a copy of my book, Courtney's book, Aaliyah's book, make sure to go and review it wherever you purchased it, because reviews are a huge deal for getting the book out there. Keto Simple, good afternoon, Jenny Mitich. Hello. Good afternoon, friends. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Yay, Melissa. Greetings from snowy Alaska. Just got done shoveling. Sorry, I'm late. You're never late. You're always right on time, my friend. And you can see she is also a member. Thank you. Okay, Janice, yay, I almost missed you. Well, I'm glad that you didn't. Welcome, good to see you. As you can see in the banner that's kind of ticking at the bottom of the screen, if you have any questions, please do QQQ or a question mark so I can identify it from the chat. And also, if you have any big wins or great stories or anything that you'd like to share with all of us, we'd love to hear that as well. It's always good for people to see encouraging stories as well if they're having a hard time or things like that. So. Okay, so Olethu. Oh yeah, I totally butchered that, girl. I love it when people at least try. Olethu, that's fun. I also have a YouTube channel. Be sure to go over and check out her YouTube channel. And John, yes, I do have a YouTube channel. That's what I thought. Make sure you're subscribing to John and Robin. There we go. Okay, here we are. Thoughts on issues we see with veggies and grains being they are inherently bad for us, or because the way they are grown with chemical pesticides and fertilizers on top of monocropping. What did I just do to my... I just messed up my computer. Okay, so I have kind of a middle of the road opinion on this topic. I don't think all plants are out to kill us. We're technically omnivores. Humans can eat anything. And that's why we've lived so long. That's why we're so adaptable and flexible. The problem is that starting in the early 1900s, we've all gotten so divorced from growing our own food, gathering our own food, hunting our own food, or just farming. Industrial revolution, we all started to move to cities, and all of this processed food came to light. Everything changed. And now, we had to depend on the FDA and different government agencies to make sure our food was safe, because we weren't growing it anymore. We weren't finding it for ourselves. So yes, pesticides, monocropping. like the lack of nutrients that are in the soil nowadays. That's a huge issue. And even if you're buying organic, that doesn't mean there's no pesticides. There's just organic pesticides, which, can be just as bad. You can also have the wind carrying regular pesticides from the regular farm next door over to your organic berries or something like that, right? So that being said, I don't think everybody needs to be carnivore. I think carnivore is an excellent elimination diet. I personally feel best when I'm eating a strict carnivore diet. But I incorporate some plants from time to time. My husband and I have been doing a keto cheat meal once a month since the very beginning. I love a good salad. If I go to a Brazilian steakhouse, I'm going to have, some of the items that are on the salad bar. Just a little bit, nothing crazy. I'm not going to do anything that's super high sugar or high oxalate or anything like that. So I think it's just a matter of figuring out what works best for you. My thing is, you got to figure out how many carbs you can tolerate. Some people it's none. Some people it's 20. Some people it's 100. It just depends. What's your metabolic health profile? And then I do think you should avoid like high oxalate, high lectin foods. Some people need to avoid like nightshades, which are like peppers and tomatoes and things like that. Plants do have defense mechanisms. That's what these are, these phytochemicals. And they don't want to be eaten, just like, an animal runs away. Plants can't run away. So yeah, I think it's nuanced. And I think people can include them to some degree. So yeah, those are my thoughts on all of that. Low Carb Spin. Hello all. Hey, are you guys coming to the Chicagoland meetup April 13th? You need to. It's going to be so much fun. Bonnie. Hello, Bonnie, my friend. I am late and almost missed the entire live. Nope, you're good. You're good. We still have a solid 30 minutes. And everybody here in the comments knows each other, so they all talk. Come and hang out with us. You'll make some friends. No Carb Barb. Hi, Jenny. Good to see you, my friend. We were just texting earlier. I need to add you to the poster, and then I'll send it to you so you can promote it. Okay, Lydia's journey. This is a great question. I was keto for 5 years with many carnivore meals throughout. I hit a wall with my weight loss and got so frustrated and quit everything. Gained back 25 pounds during my 2-year break. Any tips? I mean, yeah, tons. First off, normal happens to the best of us. It's totally okay. It's just time to get back on the wagon. I would say probably if you've just been eating like standard American or things like that, I would say probably ease back onto carnivore or keto, whatever you want to do, and just kind of get the train moving again. I would say just getting started, you're probably going to lose weight again pretty fast. But if you hit a wall with your weight loss again, I would say I have a few tips on that. I'm going to link, let's see, fat loss videos. I'm going to link 2 fat loss videos in the description once we get done, that it'll have a bunch of tips and you can implement a few of them and just try to see if you can get the scale moving again. Usually there's just a few levers you need to pull, make adjustments. Like our bodies just like to get used to what we're doing. And then they kind of just, plateau. Sometimes when you hit a wall and you don't lose weight for a few months, that's normal. That's going to be part of the journey. And that's something to not be frustrated about. Like, for me, the lowest I've gotten thus far is like 142, but that wasn't sustainable for me at this point. My body really likes to sit right now between 148 and 153. 153 has been a set point for me for a couple of years now. If you talk to Kelly Hogan, she talks about how in her weight loss journey, she would have lost some weight and then like totally stopped for like a year or two and then started losing weight again. That's just a natural protective mechanism of your body. Like when we're losing weight in 2026, like we're like, oh, I want to lose weight. But our body's like, what is going on here? Is there a famine? What's going on? Because our, biology hasn't caught up to the modern day. It's not natural to lose a bunch of fat. Fat was protective. So that's just your body being like, oh, we're going to stop, make sure, they're not going to die. And then the weight can start again. Weight loss can start again. But sometimes there's other levers that you can pull. So yeah, just keep that all in mind. And when I'm done with this live, I'm going to put 2 fat loss videos into the description and you can check that out. I also have another fat loss video coming out at the end of this month that will talk about beginner, intermediate, and expert level, tweaks that you can do to get the scale moving again. So that is that. North Dakota Carnivore Lance, good afternoon. All good to see you. Okay. By the way, going to be on a new thyroid medication, Tirosint, SOL 125 mcg oral solution. Fantastic. Great job on the PTA video. And the language right there in front is Serbian. My last name is Mitich. I'm married to a Serbian American. And Melissa is also Serbian. So thank you. Thank you very much. It was my mother-in-law's recipe. If you guys out there are watching this and you haven't seen the meat jelly or PTA recipe, go and check that out. It's my latest video and it's so much fun and it's such a good, different dish that you have to try on carnivore. Okay, there we go. Robin, yes, ma'am, going to meat stock. I can't wait to get pictures with everyone. Question, does Michaela Peterson allow pictures? It's a great question. I have no idea. I have never met her, but I'm assuming, yeah, she'll probably allow pictures. I don't see why not. I need to look at the schedule. I know Scott is still kind of finalizing it to see which day she's actually speaking. Keto Simple, Chris Cooking Nashville has sent me various stills from his book. It's going to be incredible. Yeah. I love Chris. I love Chris and Ash. We did a cooking video together at his house last year. It was so much fun. They're some of my absolute favorite people. I met them at Meat Stock, and I love them to death. What is the Chicago meetup? So we are doing a meetup and screening of the cholesterol code on Monday, April 13th. All of the info is in the description of this live. There's 2 different ticket tiers. We're doing a VIP dinner and fundraiser first at Texas Day Brazil. That is optional. Basically, I'm going to cover dinner and the ticket to the screening, and then all extra proceeds from your ticket go to the Citizen Science Foundation as a donation. So those tickets are $150 a piece. So far, we have, let me pull up who's all coming to that. Right now, me and my husband, Carrie and Jen Mann and Adam Lacey. And also today, Barb Harrell, No Carb Barb, who is here in the chat, is also going to be joining us. So that's going to be super fun. And then right after that, we're going to drive 4 minutes over to the other side of the parking lot where the movie is being shown at the Streets of Woodfield. This is all happening in Schaumburg, Illinois. Streets of Woodfield, Texas Day Brazil first, and then the movie at 7:37. I don't remember, 7, I think. Look at the ticket tiers and see. So you'll see just the screening is like $19 to $23 plus some fees. And the VIP dinner and the screening together plus the donation is $150 per ticket. So as soon as those tickets are sold out, there's no more. There's only so many we can do. I think I'm doing like 40 of the dinner tickets and the rest. And I think we have 90 total for the screening. So be sure to join us if you can. All of that info is in the description. Okay, here's a question. 79 Cat. Hello, how do I stick to carnivore? I get sick of eating the same thing every day and I fall off. Yeah, that's totally normal. Totally normal. I think the way that I combated that in the beginning was just a little bit more variety in foods. So I like to don't just eat like steak and ground beef, bacon, eggs, chicken wings, pork chops. In my book, Complete Carnivore, I have a ton of recipes, but if you're not quite ready to, spring for a book, I have a ton of recipe videos on my channel. I'm sharing a bunch of the recipes for free, showing you how to cook them here on YouTube. Sometimes maybe you just need to make a pizza and you can make a carnivore pizza. I have a carnivore beef stroganoff. I have carnivore ice cream sandwiches. So there's ways that you can do this where you don't feel bored. Because the important thing when you're starting carnivore is you really need to give your body time to get fat adapted. And normally that's like 3 to 4 weeks. Like minimum, you want to be on carnivore for like 30 days. I really think you need to be on it for a minimum of 90 to see the real benefits. But if you can't string together more than a couple of days without getting bored, you're never going to get there, right? So use these recipes as a way to kind of bridge that gap and allow yourself to stay on carnivore so you can string that time together. But also, a lot of this is mental. A lot of this is just cravings and this mental game where we have that negative self-talk and we're like, oh, I just can't do this, or I'm tired, blah, 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 blah. A lot of it is just making that decision every day, over and over and over. I'm doing this. You could take a page from like AA and NA, just for today, one day at a time. Just focus on right now and just, I can eat that other stuff tomorrow, and then say the exact same thing the next day. All of those things were helpful to me. So yes. Melissa just said, keto simple. Check Jenny's posts. All the info is posted. Yes. All the info for the meetup is posted. Collaborative Science Conference, meat stock, and the blood work experiment. Okay. So let me say one thing to my husband real quick, because I can hear the TV out there. Turn down the TV a bit. Boom. Okay. All right. Oh no, something causing stress assessment. Okay. So that was a private conversation. Sorry there. Keto Simple. Sounds good. I'm in Indianapolis, so I want to look into it. If you're that close, definitely look into it. It's going to be so much fun. And we're adding new VIP guests every time. So this is funny. My issue with fat loss is I always find it again. LOL. Yeah, me too. Happens to everyone. My son is being seen by a doctor. He had a blood transfusion, has been tested for everything. One last test was done by biopsy. Yes, we eat liver more. Okay, great. Has he seen any improvement after starting carnivore? And I believe how many days has he been on it? I remember talking to you on Instagram, but it's hard to pull up from the chat exactly what that is. So how long has he been on carnivore and incorporating a lot of meat? Breeze has 5 pounds left to go. That is amazing. Very, very good. Okay. And yes, as soon as you know which day Michaela Peterson is speaking, let me know. Yeah, it should be up on the website, the Meat Stock website at some point. I don't know if he has posted the schedule or anything yet, but that's all coming together because it's only, 3 months away. So soon. Isabel Goyer, hello everyone from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Okay, Lydia's journey. I don't know why losing weight in the beginning was so much easier. Now when I try to lose whatever I gained, it comes off way slower. Yeah, I feel you on that, sister, because sometimes that's just the inevitable march of time. I'm going to be 42 in a month, and I will tell you that I could do pretty much anything when I was in my 20s to lose weight. And now losing weight is like pulling teeth. It's pretty annoying. I mean, I have Hashimoto's, so a lot of that is thyroid related, but what are you going to do? Yeah, it sucks. It does suck. I won't say it doesn't. It definitely does. Everybody in the comments, make sure to leave any questions, any comments, anything like that. We still have a little bit of time. I definitely want to answer your questions and get to all of that. So be sure to leave it in there. Okie dokie. Here's a great question. Sarah Bartholomew, 2963. Is your book available in stores for sale or only online? As far as I know, it's only online. I want to say good night to Brian. Good night. Good to see you. So yeah, I just checked because I had a commenter tell me that it seemed to be out of stock everywhere. So I looked. It's out of stock at Barnes & Noble. It's out of stock at Books A Million. It's in stock at Blackwell's, which is for international viewers. If you can't find it on your Amazon, that's where you can find it, Blackwell's. And it's definitely in stock in US Amazon. Tons of copies available there. I do need to email the publisher to figure out when they're going to be sending books to Barnes & Noble and Target and all those places because they're sold out. Yeah, not yet. Not in stores yet. Although I've had a couple of people request that they go into the store. I'm also, if you have an extra copy or you'd like to, you can donate it to your local library. That's a great way to get it out to more people. I'm going to do that at my local libraries here in Florida and also at home to make sure that they have some copies. But yes, that is what's going on now. Okay, H Fox 47. So her son has been on carnivore since Friday. Okay, okay. So it's only been a couple of days. I am very curious to see what happens to his iron levels after a month. Honestly, just, make sure to pay attention to it. You're already working with the doctor, so you're doing good there. Just make sure to keep eating the red meat and see what happens. Honestly, I think it's going to be pretty quick. I mean, short of it being some kind of genetic issue or something like that, I mean, it should resolve quickly with eating a lot of meat. Melissa, I don't even remember 42. Ha ha ha. That's funny. Yeah. I honestly can't even believe I made it this far. I was quite messed up when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, and I'm very happy to even be alive, very happy to be super healthy, other than the Hashimoto's, but other than that, with everything that I've lived through, I can't even believe I'm going to be 42 with a happy, healthy family and doing very well. So it's a blessing. 'Tis a blessing. Okay, here's a question. How to raise ferritin on keto and carnivore, still low after 2 years carnivore and 1 year keto. Why do you want to raise your ferritin is my question. And what is low? What is considered low? Are you having symptoms? So ferritin is one of those things I think that is really misunderstood. It's not necessarily just a measure of how much iron you have. If you're not having any symptoms, not really a super big deal. My husband has elevated ferritin. Ferritin can be an inflammatory marker. And one thing we did to lower it was we added zinc with copper. We had been doing like blood transfusions, and that didn't really lower it that much. But the zinc with copper, the copper really helped to release some of the extra ferritin. Some people just have super high ferritin. Some people have low. Symptoms. What are your symptoms and what is low? Because it could be just fine. The thing with blood tests, again, not a doctor, but just from years of doing so many blood tests on myself, the traditional reference ranges in blood work are based on a sick population. Most people that are getting blood work done are healthy. So if we're looking for like optimal functional medicine ranges of certain markers, they're going to be a little bit different than conventional. That's it. Okay, here we go. Thinning, hair, fatigue, crushing fatigue, dizziness, weakness. Okay. Have you had a full thyroid panel? That's what I would be concerned about. So let me link that video in the description. It can't just be TSH. It needs to be TSH, free T4, free T3, reverse T3, and thyroglobulin antibodies and TPO antibodies. Usually that's just called like thyroid antibodies. All of those, I mean, that's just like cardinal low thyroid. And you're at the age too. I started my low thyroid stuff when the boys were like, 18 months old. So I think I was 38 and a half when it hit me hard. It's completely normal. And fatigue and iron can go along with thyroid issues. So let me know, have you had a full thyroid panel? And I'm going to link the full thyroid blood work, how to interpret it for yourself and where to get blood work if you live in a place where you can order your own blood work. Like my conventional doctor wouldn't do a full thyroid panel. They would only measure TSH, and my TSH was normal. And she's like, well, if your TSH is normal, we can't measure anything else. I was like, what? Are you serious? And that's when my hair was falling out. 30% of it fell out. I was just so tired. Like the fatigue was, I couldn't even get out of bed. It was so bad. A year went by before I had a functional medicine practitioner diagnose me with Hashimoto's. when we did a full thyroid panel. My free T4 and my TSH, both were normal. I have a conversion issue. My free T4 is good. My free T3 garbage. My reverse T3 high. And that just means that my body's not converting it into the usable form. So I would say check that. Link to thyroid video. Okay. Because it's never in a vacuum. There's never just one marker. You know, it's usually something else going on. All right. Keto Simple, 47 this year. Happy birthday. Robin, 33 this year. Happy birthday. I loved my early 30s were great. Ugh, if I could go back to my early 30s just for my skin. Like now, I have no makeup on right now. I didn't have time to put it on. I'm like, okay, this. I will get a facelift someday, but not today. Look at this. Here's my 33-year-old skin. Ha! Miss it. Okay. Question. Got sick on my second month on carnivore with a fever, cough, achy, you name it. It's been 30 years since I've been this sick. Could part of this be why from the toxins from fat loss? Yeah, totally. Yes. One thing you can do, if you're losing a lot of fat and you've had that fat on your body for a long time, toxins accumulate in fat, take a binder every night. I'll link a couple of the binders that I use. I have two of them. One is a pill, one is a powder. I find the pill to just be easier to take, but the powder is really good too. Take it every night. It could also just be, you know, from the, you know, you're switching over to a new way of eating. Maybe your immune system was a little wonky from that. It can happen. But yeah, it could be. It could be toxins from fat loss. Okay, let's see. This is in response to lots of conversations going on in the chats. Hello. Angel, Helix, cheers from Oregon. Hello, hello. All right, this is a response to this question about getting sick. Keto Simple could be just a mix of timing and the overall lifestyle shift going into carnivore. Yes, which I just mentioned. Yeah, it could totally be that. It happens to the best of us. Breeze, there's lots of viruses going around too. Oh yeah, I got sick as a dog, me and the boys, in January. It was really bad. I lost my voice. If you watch that PTA video, you can see me lose my voice throughout filming that video. It was sad. It was so sad. All right, guys, it looks like we're down to the end of our questions and comments. So I'm going to end it here. Next week, we are not doing a live stream because we will be traveling back to snowy Chicago. So our next live stream is going to be on Tuesday, the 24th at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, we're gonna meet again there. We had another thing come in. Grand Aunt Riri, welcome. Hello, just joined the new carnivore for 30 days with labs. Fantastic. I love that. Make sure to mark on your calendar, when 30-ish or so days will be, so that you do that second batch of blood work. But I'm super excited to see what will happen with that. So welcome to the lifestyle. Love you, Jenny. Can't wait for the episode where you and Courtney camp together. Oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. I'm actually researching what we're going to do. Now I need to figure it out. So Artemis 2, I'm a big space nerd. Artemis 2 is going to be launching at the Kennedy Space Center. There's a couple of windows in March, and then there's a few more windows in April if they can't make that. I would love to be able to see that. I would love that. So Artemis 2 is it's manned, the first manned Artemis. They're basically going to be taking a trip around the moon. It's like a 10-day trip. Artemis 3 is going to be landing on the moon again. So excited for that. Huge space nerds, but yes. Okay. So that's that. Have a great evening. It was so good to see all of you. And thank you so much for joining me. Have a great night. And yes, I would love to hear. Make sure that you are letting us know. Keep us posted. Okay? And we also have, oh my God, another space bird. I know what you're talking about. Yes, we're obsessed. Should be fun. So we'll let you know. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you so much for joining me. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay? Bye-bye.